So it looks like Xbox isn't out of the woods yet by any means, and it's so strange to see, some of the people that were originally kind of Xbox fanatics and would cover for a lot of the things that Xbox were doing wrong and make it sound like everything was fine. A lot of those people are now kind of speaking out about this, and realistically, this is something that I never thought I'd see. And so, again, I want to see Xbox be successful. I want to see Microsoft actually try to compete in the space. I think the big problem is a lot of the things that they sowed are kind of coming to pass now, whether it was hiring practices, whether it was, too greedy, too big for their britches, their stomach was bigger, their eyes were bigger than their stomach, those types of situations. I do think that they probably would have been much better off just sticking with the traditional kind of console plan and then buying some of the smaller studios and things like that. Maybe even get away with Bethesda. But, at the same time, hindsight is always 2020. I want to get into this because this doesn't sound good. And it doesn't sound good in particular terms because we don't know what Xbox is in general. Like they tend to change their mind and change course very rapidly, and that's never a good thing if you're looking for some kind of stability. And if people are going to trust Xbox in the future, this is like something that's a big issue. Hey, I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that stuff as well. I do daily gaming content, so if you guys are looking for someone to do content that's fun yet informative, hey, look no further than this right now. Definitely appreciate it. So again, this is being reported now. Apparently Xbox has given an utterly unrealistic financial target that could continue to hurt the division. So we know that there's a lot going on right now. In fact, I don't even know how far this goes or where it could end. I mean, John Romero, his studio had to shut down. He had 100 people was working on an Xbox game for 2.5 years. The day before they were shut down, Microsoft was there saying everything looked good, and then the next day they're gone. So anyway, the troubles at Xbox may be far from over, as Microsoft CFO has set an utterly unrealistic financial target for the division, and it will continue to hurt the company's gaming division in the future. Windows Central Jez Gordon revealed on X that Microsoft's CFO, Amy Hood, supposedly has given Xbox an unrealistic financial requirement that will continue to hurt the division, suggesting that the troubles that led to the latest waves of layoffs are far from over. The Verge's Tom Warren chimed in on the discussion, saying that these requirements are the reality of Xbox business following the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Without the deal, Warren added, revenue would be down and Game Pass gamble hasn't paid off yet. Yeah, crazy to see this kind of stuff. So anyway, Jez said Microsoft CFO Amy Hood has given Xbox an utterly unrealistic financial requirement that's going to continue hurting the division. This isn't over. And Tom Warren chimed in, I don't think it's unrealistic. It's just the reality of the Xbox business after the Activision acquisition. Without the Xbox deal, without that deal, Xbox revenue would be down and the Game Pass gamble still hasn't even paid off yet. So again, this is the thing that I want to say, because I know a lot of people are quick to defend Phil Spencer. They're like, oh, well, Phil's not a bad guy. Phil's not to blame. Phil. Here's the thing. I'm not suggesting that Phil is 100% to blame for this stuff right now, but he's had a decade to kind of change things around, and his moves have pretty much all failed to a point. Even Game Pass, right? We can look at it and go, okay, well, 34 million, that's a pretty big number for Game Pass or whatever the case may be. But at the same point in time, that's, you have to take out 12 million of those are just core members that were Xbox Live Gold. So it's not really growing. And they have all these studios that they're buying, and I'm sure Phil was behind all that. And, in particular, when you spend, $75 billion, they want to recoup on that investment probably much quicker than what, Microsoft was going to be able to do. Even with going multi-platform, it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to do that. So, I mean, they're cutting their kind of bets there. And, again, so I look at it and I think, well, Phil really kind of dropped the ball there in a big way. Last week's wave of layoffs at Xbox has been particularly impactful for a lot of game development studios under the umbrella of Microsoft's gaming division, such as Forza Motorsport developer Turn 10, which apparently lost over 70 employees It has been reportedly turned into a Forza Horizon support studio, which is a shame. If you look at the games that Turn 10 has released, all of them have scored incredibly well. All of them are 80 plus, with the lone exception of Forza Motorsport 5, which launched with the Xbox One. And it's not that it was a bad game, it's just that it lacked. It was probably rushed. They probably rushed it to get that game out with that new thing. But I think it's like a 79 Metacritic. All the rest are in the 80s and 90s. So it's crazy that studio was shut down. Anyway, Rare, whose Everwild project has been canceled, and the Initiative, which was completely shut down following the cancellation of the Perfect Dark reboot. ZeniMax Online, developer of The Elder Scrolls Online, was also impacted by the cancellation of their next MMORPG, which was reportedly turning out so well that Xbox head Phil Spencer loved the game when he played it back in March. Other partner studios were also heavily impacted by the latest wave of layoffs, such as Romero Games, the studio that founded by Doom series co-creator John Romero and his wife Brenda Romero, which also shut down following the cancellation of the studio's next game or whatever. So again, this is the really kind of a bad situation in gaming all around in general, because when you look at how Microsoft is handling these things, it's so funny because things can change at the drop of a hat, and that's like a really bad situation to be in, at the end of the day, because like I've said numerous times before, right now Microsoft is saying, yeah, sure, we're going to do more hardware, we're going to do this, but if you look at it, like the hardware is like the most expensive thing. It's so expensive to make, and they don't ever really make any money off the hardware. So it's kind of hard to go out there and just go, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and, continue to make this hardware, whatever the case may be. And again, I find this to be very interesting that, this is happening, and people still believe that Microsoft, even the fact that they know they have to make all this money through the division, they think that they're going to do like some kind of Steam store on the next Xbox or whatever. So, and they're also going to apparently not charge people to play online, et cetera, et cetera. They're like lose billions of dollars. I just realistically find all that stuff, very difficult to believe. And we'll have to see if that kind of stuff can pay off for Microsoft. And at the end of the day, I just honestly, I don't see how Microsoft can realistically continue to compete or do much of anything the way things are kind of going right now. It's really unfortunate to see this happening, but I still think that a lot of this is very much Microsoft's fault, and they realistically did such a bad job of making sure that people are, excited for the future and things like that. And all the lies kind of came back and really affected people's perception of the brand, and that's a real shame, because Xbox at one point was such a great thing, it was such an amazing thing. And now it's just like, we don't see, like, how could you trust what Microsoft is doing? Like, that's the tough thing, I honestly just don't think that it could be brought back, that trust. I don't think that thing could be trusted. You can't be trusted at all with the idea that Microsoft won't change their mind at a very, very, kind of a weird situation there. So, again, it is a very interesting kind of development. They're not out of the woods yet, whatever the case may be. And, I do feel like Microsoft is in a very rough spot right now, and that's not to say that nothing good can come. I think, like I said numerous times before, if you are an Xbox fan, the very best thing you can focus on is just like the games, because you are getting the games and things like that. Again, we'll see how that works out, and Microsoft could do something to surprise us, but unless they get totally new management and let the Xbox kind of do their own thing, I just don't see how anything can change long term. And again, I don't really trust that Microsoft is going to actually go out there and do the things that that people think they're going to do. Like, hey, yeah, they're going to do another console, maybe, right, until the next round of cuts. That's the thing that I think people have to understand and always worry about. So let me know what you guys think. Are you guys worried about Xbox? Sound off, rate, comment, subscribe. I would certainly appreciate your guys' thoughts on all of this. Thank you so much for watching. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.